This is Spare Parts, your show for all things motorsports. With your hosts, Stephen Cleary, Sean Cavarella, and Taylor Moore.
Hear that music?
What do I associate with you two?
I don't know. What do you associate with us?
History.
You decided to come on here and to be a part of us.
Decided.
Yes,
I
yes,
was
you did.
asked.
Yes,
And
because
I said yes.
And you
to say
decided.
yes, so
so you are a part of this
Fine.
team.
I know. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, exactly. So you're gonna contribute
'Cause I
whether you
love the
like it or
sport.
not. Well, I mean, you can love the sport or the sport doesn't love you. You know how it is, right?
It's a love-hate relationship.
Very much so.
you have to play it, not the game.
Okay, Lewis. Is it too early?
Sad boy, Lewis.
Too early to bring that up?
No, not at all.
Okay. Screw it. Let's talk about that first. First off, welcome to Spare Parts. I'm your host, Sean.
I'm Steven.
I'm Taylor.
Reluctant to be here as always. So,
That's not true.
okay, fair enough. So
I'm happy to be here.
should we talk about Lewis Hamilton finally emerged
Breaks his silence.
and says nothing?
Can
Just-
we officially just rename him instead of calling him Lewis? Can we call him Sad Boy Lewis?
He is Sir Sad Boy Lewis to you, okay? Okay. It has to
Fine,
be
Sir Sad Boy Lewis.
He got that knighthood. It's knighthood, is that it?
Right.
Knighting? I
Sure.
don't know.
Yeah. Knighthood? I think it is knighthood. I think you're right.
Mm.
I
Something
don't
I'll
know.
never
We don't
get.
live there.
Exactly. Damn colonizers taking over Canada. Okay.
Yep, we ended up here instead of in the mainland.
Yeah, exactly. We were the ones that got kicked out of there. So, Lewis Hamilton finally made his Instagram post and Twitter post and everything. And basically was what? Said, I'm back? Is that it?
Yep. And
Yeah, I was gone.
And the salt levels of Earth increased back to their
Oh my
post Abu
God.
Dhabi days.
The comments. Oh. I don't
I wonder if he's
understand.
turned them off yet.
I don't
one
understand why
though.
people have to either dunk on a guy or just attack Formula One and shit. Are we really just gonna be that petty about this forever?
Yes.
100%. Okay, first off, the Verstappen stands are 100% going to be petty about this for the rest of ever.
Why? Who gives a
so are
shit?
the Lewis
You
stands.
won.
So are the Lewis stands. I know, but see, this is the whole problem. Okay, hold on.
It's
I'm
so
gonna
annoying.
It's not about winning, it's about being toxic.
Honestly, that's kind of what the
It's
motorsports
true.
fan base has become.
I want to be the reason you threw your steering wheel out of your cockpit.
I
I'm trying to
wish
find
there
any,
was more of that in F1 of just guys firing their $50,000 worth steering wheel is pissed off. Would be more fun, right?
Yeah.
Guy gets
You-
taken
you-
out and just damn it, and just chucks it.
How far would you want to take that? Do you want to see NASCAR where guys are going up and headbutting each other, helmet to helmet?
I mean, it's just scratching the helmet, so go right ahead. What's the one that Nelson Piquet and whoever had the fight the one time at Hockenheim?
Oh, I can't remember who it was.
Oh,
Okay, quick question. What's your opinion on fighting in motorsports?
I feel like it depends on how are we defining fighting. Are we is this verbal fighting or are we physical altercations
No,
in the pit?
physical altercation. We all know that verbal
Yeah,
jousting is fine.
throwing a punch, pushing a guy. I think in the right scenario, it's great.
Yeah. If a guy
I feel like
actually
in
does that,
NASCAR it
he
would be
does
more accepted, but Formula One it would never. Not
Okay.
now, anyway.
Okay,
Everything's too proper.
let's look at Monza last year. Hamilton, Verstappen take each other out. They get out. Hamilton does the guy. What are you doing to Max? Max goes up, chest bumps him. They just start pushing each other. How fucking hyped does Twitter get after that?
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Everyone is on it. Everyone is taking sides, being oh, who started it, who's in the right, it would be fantastic.
The Drive to Survive episode revolving around that incident solely would be hilarious.
That would be like a full episode itself, just a breakdown of that.
100%.
Get everyone's opinion of who did what. Get different drivers weighing in on it. It would be great. Again, it's one of the few sports I think you can get away with punching an opponent.
Maybe, but I feel like it would just, I don't know, like bringing it in now or saying like, yeah, it's okay if you like punch your opponent. I feel like it would just be like, like there's too much politics to begin with in motorsports, so I feel like it's just kind of like,
so what?
I don't know.
I'm
not sure I would enjoy watching it.
What was wrong last year with George going and smacking Bottas on the top of the head after they took each other out?
He was just being an asshole.
I know, but like you can hit a guy like that and just be like, "What the hell?" Smack him. If Bottas gets pissed off,
think it was okay.
No, I don't think so. But I mean, was there any penalty for doing that?
No.
Listen, I don't think we're
It's
that
just
far away from seeing a
unsportsmanlike.
fight in F1.
You probably will.
I hope so.
100% we will.
I
think
want to see Twitter
this season-
explode.
This season. I'll call it right now.
Ooh, who is it?
I think it's going to be Russell and I would say Russell and maybe Verstappen.
Okay,
I could see that happening.
Hmm.
Hamilton is too good for anybody. He would never,
No.
whatever. But Verstappen now I think has gotten to a point where he can, like he used to be like that, right? But I think now he's kind of matured to the point where maybe he's not. Like he can just deal with it without doing that. But with Russell being at Mercedes in his first season with them, I think he might fall victim to the hotshot mentality. And I could really see him having those moments. Like similar moments to when like Verstappen and Ocon had their little like.
See, I'm thinking
tizzy.
Verstappen and Ocon round 2 of that.
Really? I feel like Ocon's kind of over that too.
Just if Alpine's a little more, competitive, and all of a sudden you see, a fight for a lead, they take each other out, or they're even racing close, and I could see them taking swings at each other.
I was going to say it'll happen somewhere in the mid-season between two young guys if they're both up at the top. Like if it's Leclerc and George going for their first world title and say they're somehow 1-2.
The issue is too many of the young guys know each other, and they're friends.
Yeah, that is. That's
Mm-hmm.
true.
Like, who is Ocon's best friend on the grid? It's Stroll.
Who is Ocon?
Stroll,
Yeah.
Stroll and Ocon they're each other's best friend on the grid. Yeah. The Lando, Leclerc, who else is in that list?
George.
I would say George. Yeah, all the Twitch guys. They're all
Buddy.
because they all grew up together from karting.
Yeah.
Yeah, the odd ones out are like Stroll, Ocon, Gasly, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Gasly's I think in there because he was in with those guys too. Like
Yeah, I
Leclerc and
guess.
Gasly are good friends.
Possibly. It's actually kind of funny because I was looking at like the F1 did a thing of like every driver's like timeline since 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Stroll and
Oh yeah, I was just
Ocon. No, Stroll and Gasly. That's it. Have the same number of guys who have raced more, who are more veteran, as the amount of guys younger than them. They are the cutoff of F1. Stroll and Gasly. They both came in 2017. Everyone else, from Vettel, Ricardo, Hamilton, Alonso, Perez, Bottas, Verstappen, Sainz, and Ocon, all more veteran. And then you have Leclerc, Norris, Albon, Russell, Latifi, Tsunoda, Schumacher, Mazepin, all they're junior. It's just weird how all these guys are still not even mid-20 yet. And that's the cutoff of F1 in terms of the age. I don't know, that was interesting. Because I feel like you still think of like Stroll and Gasly as young guys.
Which they are.
I mean, yes.
They're what, 22?
Relatively, but not for F1 starting ages,
Yeah.
I think. Like, they're already, like, when you think about how, but then again, like, you could be in F1 for a long time. Like,
Yeah, Lance
Kimi
is
just
23.
retired and he was, yeah.
Yeah, he's pushing
Lance
40.
is 23?
Yeah.
Wow.
Gosh.
Yeah, feel old yet? Well, he came in at 18, right?
I was gonna say, considering he started at 18, it's a little scary.
What's Gasly?
I think he's
Gasly's
like
25.
23.
He's 25.
Gasly's 25?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. He's older than I thought.
Taylor's like,
What about her?
slide to those DMs.
No, thank you.
Yeah, you don't got a chance, don't worry.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Leclerc is 24. So again, like
They're all
in their
around there.
mid like 20s or like mid 20s. Like Sonoda, I
Yeah,
still
but-
think is the youngest in the grid next year.
Yeah, he just, how old is he? Like 20?
He's born 2000. So I would say 21 this year.
Yeah. Turning 22.
And Guan Yu Zhou has been around for a while, so it's not like he's a
Yeah, he's
young rookie.
no, because he's been around for years in like the lower series, just trying to mostly get experience and funding.
Mm.
He's actually 22 too. Huh.
Well, there you
But
go.
he's a
But
90, he's
turning-
99.
yeah,
So
he's turning 23, so.
yeah, I'm curious to see how he'll do this year. It's got a long way off saying that, Hamilton made a post on Instagram that no one really, people lost their mind about.
Yep.
As I said, did you notice the whole symbolism of like, he's like, I'm back, but like, he's also like in the Grand Canyon to symbolize, the canyon of his mental state or some bullshit like that. I don't know.
And
I wonder how much effort do you think went into that actual post of deciding which photo to use, what to say? It's probably been like a month long of like PR work. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, probably, because everybody's been like, when is he coming back?
Is he coming back?
The answer was, yeah, no shit. He's coming back.
I know, like, this whole thing, like, all the headlines about, like, oh, he's just so disillusioned. He might not come back to F1. I'm like, what a, like, this is just a waste of time. Like, of course he's gonna come back. Why would anybody worry about that? He's Lewis Hamilton. Do you honestly think that he would want to retire right now after that? No.
Yeah. Are you really going to go out on that whimper?
Mm-hmm. It would just make him look so much worse.
Yeah.
So there was really no, like, possibility that he would be walking away.
Yeah, of course. He was always coming back. There was no doubt.
Mhm.
People that actually thought he was gone, why? Shake your heads.
You're not racing fans.
No, clearly not. But yes, he is back. And yeah, that's kind of all we got to say about that one. We have one thing to talk about that we didn't touch on last week. That
Yeah.
Steven mentioned
We
after.
should have.
Steven mentioned
Right
the
after we
second we were
stopped.
done. It's like, oh
Yeah.
crap. Whoops. So Robert Wickens competed in his first race again last week, and ended up on the podium after what,
Mhm.
3 years not racing, essentially
Yeah.
from breaking his back.
Fine.
He didn't
Mhm.
break the spine. He bruised it, technically, I think was the thing. But yeah,
But it was a very bad accident.
very bad accident, very bad injury, long recovery to get back in the
Mhm.
car into an endurance race that involves seat changes and stuff. Very well done to get second place was it?
Third place.
Third place, okay. Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
It's been
Mhm.
a long road, and he got pretty emotional on the podium, I think.
Did he? I didn't catch
Yeah,
it.
of course.
It was like emotional, happy, and I think everyone there that was on the podium, like the first thing they did before spraying champagne was go up to him and just give him props. Like I think everyone in that series knows what he's been through, and I mean, He's been posting a lot of his progress on his social media, so hasn't really been shying away from it. But it's amazing watching the last 3 years of work go, and now he's gotten a result. Also, have you guys seen the technology in the car? Did you watch his walkthrough?
Yes, I did. Yeah, of how there's a switch that changes it from like gas to hand controls for the throttle and brake. Or well, the brake I think is connected through the steering column anyway. But yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how they can just flip that on and off depending on who's in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
if somehow there was some pressure put onto the gas, it wouldn't actually change anything while he's in the car because it's all through the hands. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's very well done.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool, and that team did. Brian Herder Motorsports did a great job basically getting that car together.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll propose a question to you.
Okay.
Do we see Wickens in any other series in the next year or so? I think yes.
Yeah.
I think he might either get a call to big time IMSA,
Mm-hmm.
or he just, maybe gets a test in a hand control IndyCar. I'm still putting my money on that.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
That would be nice. Like I think that would for sure be nice. But I don't know. Like I think it also depends on what he wants for his career, right? Like how he sees or what his goals are now. Because they could be different. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him in IMSA, and it would be nice to see him in IndyCar.
I think it'd be great to have him like back as a test.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be fun. Just so like you can say like he's back. He has gotten back in IndyCar after however many years. I think that'd be a good accomplishment.
Yeah.
And clearly, yeah, he's got some pace. Like he did not look out of place at all last week. Like he did very well at that race. So much so that they got a podium. So good job for him, for his team. And, we'll probably see how that story goes going forward. Definitely, I think maybe a championship potential for the, was it Michelin Pilot Challenge?
Yeah. Can you imagine? That would be amazing if they somehow won a championship in his first year back.
Hey, off to a good start.
Yep.
Okay, so next week is a big week for F1. Most of the cars are launching either end of next week or beginning of the week after. We had one launch this week, and it kind of got roasted.
Well, yeah, it's the exact same Haas car, but
Mm-hmm.
the Russia mobile.
Yeah, what did everyone expect from that, really?
Nothing. It's Haas.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what else can they do with their car? They're, like, very much backed with Russian money, so, like, what else are they gonna do?
If you actually look closely, there's a little, like, there's a little my crane, not Ukraine, on the side, too,
Jeez.
No. It is interesting to see the first look of the new cars. One thing I thought was interesting in the renders, they did a lot of hiding of the entry of the Venturi tunnels, right? The opening where the air is going to go under the car for the ground effect.
Yep.
That's all darkened in their photos. Now, is this just, how the render is, or is there something down there they're trying to hide?
They're definitely trying to hide something.
I don't believe
Or-
that is an actual indication of the car. I think it's mostly a livery launch. I don't think the car will look anything like that.
No.
Maybe the nose will be
Yeah.
that squared
And
off.
this is always the fun part of the year where teams have to sort of play hide and go seek with what they're doing with their car, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody gets a chance to have a look, and you have pictures that are pre-sourced, so anyone can go through and analyze the car, right?
Mhm.
Like, hell, you look
Okay.
at this car. There's no DRS on it.
I just want to have a quick shout out. These restarts at the Coliseum are stupid because it's like 3 wide and like 2 wide and then 3 wide going into the first turn, and it's absolutely nuts. Sorry. Just wanted to say, I'm watching this. I'm watching the clash right now, like really some of the heats. This is fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah, but like the Haas car doesn't have a DRS system on it,
Yeah,
right? So
the wing looks
they're
bare.
Yeah,
they're,
I mean,
they're hiding stuff. Like
Oh, for sure,
everyone will.
Yeah, and
every
we're
single
not gonna
car
really
will.
see until the first race because even testing is like behind closed doors. So
Mhm.
not gonna get a lot of good idea of what they're doing there.
It's interesting how tiny their sponsors are.
Russia is sponsor. Don't need no other. Putin want car.
It's just
Putin
like-
get car. Why do you want anything else?
I don't know. Like I like the look of it. Like the livery itself looks pretty much the exact same as the car last year. But I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting to see what the teams are doing within the regulations that are new for this year. So I think there's a lot of chance that, teams are either going to get it right or they're going to get it wrong, and we're going to see who that is.
I found the above image very interesting with how it bulges out around like the side pod entry.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that is due to the Venturi tunnels coming up out of the floor, so now things have to be moved over a little wider because there's not just that flush floor where you can kind of work with. There's now like basically a tunnel through it, right? But also with that such wide gap, you have tiny little side pod inlets like along the side.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm curious to how they'll be. I'm hoping
Yeah.
that this car is not a total back marker, though. I want to see Haas back, not being terrible.
Well, Gunther Steiner is convinced that Haas could make a challenge to be a midfield team, get some points this year.
I'd actually be happy to see that. I really hate seeing anyone who's just a pure back marker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, teams like ebb and flow. Like their successes, sometimes you are really good, you're doing something right, and sometimes you struggle. And Haas has been struggling, since it came in. But it's been hard. Like they've made a car off of older parts. Like they've never really had money the same way that the top teams do. So hopefully this year, and with the new regulations coming in, it made it a little bit easier for them to make a car and produce a car that's going to compete.
If Haas and Williams can be competitive, which I think we've seen in the last few years, Williams has been a lot better.
Mhm.
I think it kind of can go to show that just because you're down for a few years does not mean it's now a death spiral that it used to be, right?
Mhm.
Like we saw McLaren, who was one of the worst teams, claw their way back up and win last year. Haas, who was always that midfield team, fell off. It'd be nice to see them claw their way back up. Williams, they've had their ups and downs. Again, they've been a bad team for the last few years. But when they started 2014, they were a podium team. So there's nothing worse in F1 when it starts going bad for a team and then essentially that team kind of pulls out. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Mercedes next year was a backmarker team. I doubt it, but let's just say that Mercedes goes, okay, we're leaving F1. I wouldn't be surprised if they did that, despite all the success. But for some teams, when it gets too difficult, they just don't want to compete anymore. They don't want to have that claw back mentality. They just want to be like, keep winning, keep winning, keep winning, and we're done. So
Yeah.
it's interesting to see what will happen with the shakeup from this rules. And I just hope that teams who were not so competitive can be competitive. And maybe some teams that have been at the top for a while get kicked in the teeth. I don't know.
100% agree with you, Sean.
Thank you. See? Stephen, where's your agreeing?
I agree.
No, you don't.
There, happy.
Liar. Don't fucking lie. Are you watching the Clash now too?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. It's a great advertisement for the Daytona 500. Okay, nice. So, should we talk about NASCAR now since the Clash is going on?
Let's talk NASCAR.
So right now the Clash is happening. This is really our first time seeing actual competition with the new car and new look and kind of a brand new NASCAR. What is everyone's kind of first opinion on this? Either just watching it, seeing the cars.
The cars look fine. Like,
Actually, I like them. I like the look of the cars. And I thought that, and Sean and I were kind of talking about it before we started, but like the numbers look good. They don't look bad the way I think we all thought they could when we initially talked about the new cars last year. But I like them. I think they kind of look cool.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm with Taylor. I thought I was a little more hesitant of the new cars. Like, you know, too much too quickly for NASCAR to change cars, change tires, change number placement. Basically, everything that NASCAR has been doing just too quickly. That being said, I think for watching them on track, the numbers doesn't bother me as much as I thought it would. It's a little weird seeing a whole bunch of sponsors where the number kind of was and seeing the number slid up a bit. It's a little weird-ish, but it's not terrible, you know? No. Honestly, the racing at this, I guess the LA Coliseum has been pretty fun for these little heats. Are they a little long, like 50 laps? Maybe I would cut it down to like 40. Oh, there goes another car around. It's weird because they're all on top of each other. I don't know if this is what we're to expect at some short tracks to come. Just nonstop, basically on top of each other racing. Or if it's just what the Clash is. Because I'm surprised people are going this hard because there's a limited amount of cars out there. And if you wreck your car, which we already saw, I think one today at least, you may not get a car. If a lot of people wreck their cars, you may not get one back for Daytona. So it's been honestly pretty entertaining. I'm kind of a fan of the car. I hate to say it, I'm kind of a fan of the Clash. It's not my ideal Clash. I still stick with my original idea.
Which just remind everybody.
Which is have all three series, Cup, Xfinity, and Truck race the Daytona road course together in different classes.
Which I think would be the best.
I think that'd be fun.
I think that would be very fun.
And even it's not like you can get different drivers racing different classes. Like maybe it's all NASCAR guys, but they just decide, yeah, I'll race a truck around and screw it.
No, Kyle, you can't do both. You got to pick one this time.
Yeah, exactly. But for an event, yeah, this is interesting. It's been kind of cool watching the Clash and seeing like 6 guys all on top of each other that you could basically throw a blanket over them. Like, it is tight, and they are all over each other. And some of the cars look pretty good, I'm not going to lie.
Can I guess which one's your favorite?
Okay.
It's Keselowski's, the new RFK Violet Defense car, number 6.
Actually, no. That was not.
No? Because that is literally like a color scheme you would come up with it for iRacing.
Okay. Maybe, yes. That I may enjoy that. What is it? The
color scheme?
Purple and bright yellow.
Purple, black,
okay. Yeah, it's a nice looking one. I've been actually really liking the 45, the Monster one. And like the 48, the ones that transition, you know, ones that you're kind of established beforehand, where you know what it looks like, and then how do you change the look with the number being shifted? How do you integrate that? Because that's the 2 on right now is the 48 and the 45 are right there. So yeah, I think the Ally car looks really good actually. The Monster is a classic look, the black with the Monster. Really hard to mess that up, and it looks fine. But yeah, I think the Ally one, especially seeing it, ooh, there was a little bit of bump and run there. This is getting dirty. Wow, elbows out. Okay, sorry. This is just fun. Okay, I'm really trying not to be distracted right now. This is a terrible idea. Whoever thought of a good idea to watch and record at the same time? Whew.
testing how much they can bump around each other.
I just want to point out, Bubba totally skewered Kurt Busch there. They're teammates. They're teammates. Denny Hamlin's watching this like, please.
Roommates.
And they were roommates.
Roommates.
Oh, this is unfortunate. Yeah. Oh boy, they're all over each other. Oh, there goes a car. There goes Kurt Busch into the wall. That's not good for Denny.
Denny's just sitting in the field like, fuck.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, there goes a car. There goes a few grand. Oh, this is now a new whole topic here of how is 2311 Racing now going to handle this? Because that's some team-on-team kind of shenanigans that kind of led to that. And why are you racing this hard for a fucking clash?
Yeah.
Oh, this is hilarious.
Maybe they just missed racing too much, and
It's been like a few months. Get over it.
I mean, like, I agree.
I have to stop watching this because I am getting too distracted. Okay. So
I'll watch for you.
thank you, Steven. I am very bad at multitasking.
That's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
That is fair. I guess the last bit of NASCAR stuff, we saw the Floyd Mayweather's what's the team called? It's like the money team.
Money team.
God fucking damn it. Again.
Is this the new thing?
What, rich people getting into motorsports? No, it's been a thing forever.
No, but like, isn't he? Who else recently got into NASCAR? Pitbull, right? It was Pitbull.
Pitbull,
Yep.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan's with 2311, yep.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like, is this just the new, like, okay, rich people, yes, but like, sports people, like other sports people, gonna start like jumping? Like, is it only gonna be a NASCAR thing, or are we gonna see like, when's Matthew McConaughey gonna buy a team?
Honestly,
this is my question.
I'm not
Careful
opposed to
what you
I'm not opposed to all these guys joining too.
No, it's money into the sport.
It's money into the sport. It's other athletes, other entertainers seeing the potential for motorsports, either as
That's
an
fair.
actual investment or as a property. Like, you're not buying the money racing team. You're not expected to win.
No.
But with, I guess, the NASCAR charter system, the value of that team can go up if the series improves. So there could be a lot of guys seeing this not necessarily as just wanting to get in motorsports, but just wanting to get into kind of business. Especially for so many like of these like team owners, not just in motorsports, but all sports. It's a prestige thing to say you own a team.
Yep.
Like, it's a giant dick waving contest by a bunch of old men, basically.
And it's cheaper than trying to buy a sports franchise.
Yeah. Like, buying into a franchise is stupid expensive. Anything like that. Buying into a race team, relatively only a few $1 million versus the... God fucking damn it, I keep hitting my mic.
I was gonna say, when have we seen like anybody in one of the four major sports buy in? The one that comes to mind is Mario Lemieux and the Penguins. And that's because they owed him so much money. They just said, well, we can give you a stake in the team. And that was brilliant for him because he helped revitalize that team and help it gain popularity. It helps that they got Sidney Crosby in a bit of a questionable way. But, I don't know, that's for a different time.
Let's not talk about that shenanigans and bullshit.
That's
you know.
Yeah, but like it
That
goes to highlight
disaster of the
how
series.
hard. It goes to highlight how hard it is for someone in the four major sports. Like players aren't being like, yeah, you know, I'm heading towards the end of my career. I have enough money. I'd like to buy a stake in the team. What? We could trade you. You realize that, right?
Yeah, and like it's a weird thing where it's always been in motorsports though, where guys can like the whole driver owner is pretty common, to be honest. A lot of guys did that, or driver owner of a different team while you're driving. Like a great example was Dale Earnhardt, right? He was racing for Richard Childress while he had Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, which was a 3-car team racing against him. So you're also funding your competition. I don't know. Motorsports is very bizarre that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say like the best example of a driver getting into a team early and stuff, Jeff Gordon with Hendrick.
Yep.
Because he owned his car, and then also owned the 48 car. Those were both owned by Gordon with Hendrick. So all of the years that Jimmy was winning, as a Gordon fan, I was always like, damn it, why can't it be Jeff Gordon? But Jeff Gordon was probably like, I'm just cashing checks at this point. And then you have like now Keselowski joining RFK. You have Denley Hamlin now racing against his own team. Yeah, motorsports is really fun that way, where ownership isn't that unobtainable.
Yeah.
And you can still compete against your own car, basically. You want to win, but you're also okay if someone else wins in your car.
It's like hedging your bets.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
You give myself the best chance of making money here.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's all it is in motorsports. Like, you're just
That's
trying to make money.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is at the end of the day for most sports.
Yeah. How do you make a small fortune in motor racing?
How was that?
You start with a large one. Ba-bum to get it because you just lose money.
Heard that joke before.
It's a great joke. Fuck off.
It is.
It is fantastic. And is there anything else we have to talk about? Anything else that you guys want to bring up?
You say, do we want to quickly cover the fact that Bubba's getting his own documentary?
I guess I mentioned that. Oh, there's one more thing I want to mention in terms of what the fuck.
What's that?
Oh.
Ferrari's team, like, car name.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. I honestly have no idea how they name their cars, but, like, it's just so out of left field.
It's like, okay, there needs to be an F in there. Makes sense. What number should we have? Year? Car number? I don't know. Randomness? Sure. Like, I don't understand. For anyone who's unaware, they named their car this year. What is it? The F125? Is that it?
75.
F175? Fuck, that makes sense. Like, I don't understand why. So they've done it where, they've named like after the engines. They name after a year.
Yeah.
Make up your mind. What is it?
It's not even an anniversary year for them, right? Like, that already happened 2 seasons ago?
That was their 1000th race or something, right?
Oh. Well, has it been 75 years since Ferrari has been a thing?
Yes. It has.
Like, maybe...
Oh, it has?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
2017 was the SF70. Sorry,
Okay,
SF70H, because they had to throw the H in there for hybrid.
So the 75 then would be for their 75, 75th anniversary, I guess.
So sorry, 2017 was SF70H for the 70 years of they were making cars, like road cars. SF90 was 2019, and that was because they had 90 years of racing. Then they had the SF1000 because yes. And then last year, what the hell was last year's?
I don't remember.
I think it was like the, I don't know, F1 like 20 something. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. And everyone's gonna go with SF75.
Okay, well, it says that it's a very special moment, says Ferrari.
Ferrari,
it's
get your
named
head
in honor
out
of
your
their
ass.
first production car.
Because I'm guessing it's been 75 years since that car, so.
Cool.
Hold on. In honor of first production car. Well, 75 designation marking the anniversary of
Yep, there you go.
the 125S, which left the factory in March 1947.
Yeah, like I said, because the 20, what was it? The SF70 was 70 years of them
Oh my
making cars.
gosh.
It's the same shit.
So,
Ferrari, fucking get your shit together. Like, this is the stupidest thing. Just name your car like SF22. Fuck it. The year. Just keep it simple. You know what's a fantastic Ferrari? The F2004. You know what year that one raced?
2007.
Fuck you. Like, I don't understand here. I'm getting annoyed. It's the stupidest naming convention.
One thing Haas did right. They just named their car VF22.
Do I know where the VF comes from? No.
No.
Am I
Do I
going to
care?
ask? No. Like, I bet you Aston Martin will be the AM22.
Probably.
What is it? One of the teams is going back. Is it the Alpine? Someone went back because they were going to call last year's car the 21, but it didn't happen. So it was like the 20-B or something. I can't remember which team this was. But someone's car.
Might have been Alpine.
I don't know.
Well, we'll find out when
Yes,
they're all launched.
We have a week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, because it couldn't have been Alpine. I don't know. I'm losing my mind
Stop,
here.
stop trying to think about it.
It hurts to think, okay? I'm not
Yes,
used
we
to it.
We know.
Speaking of thinking, I'm going to ask you guys to think now as we do our favorite overrated, underrated to finish off the episode. I want your overrated, your underrated, your favorite, and your least favorite Star Wars movie. This is because we started last week kind of talking a bit of Star Wars. I didn't want to have this conversation then because there was too much to talk about. And, you know, I just want to kind of tell Taylor she's wrong. So, let's start with your overrated Star Wars movie.
I'm just gonna put the camera closer so everybody can see my lovely baby Yoda. That's on theme.
Yes, exactly. Steven, would you like to go first of your
I'm trying to
overrated?
Trying to think of the most overrated Star Wars movie. Because I wanted to say Solo, but that one's not really overrated because no one likes it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Someone else pick one.
God fucking damn, man.
Well, I'm trying to think through the movies.
There's like 8 of them.
Okay, calm down.
Okay, maybe like...
There's 9 in the trilogies alone.
Okay, there's like
there's
11.
9 in the trilogies.
Come on, get it right.
Yeah, some are good, some are not.
Okay.
I like how I put you on the spot and you immediately just shrivel up.
Punt.
You fucking coward. Fine, Taylor, what's your overrated Star Wars movie?
Okay, hold on 1 second.
God
bringing
damn
up the
it!
list.
How does... I gave you warning about this. Oh,
No. Okay, so hold on. Overrated first, right?
overrated first.
I would say overrated probably be The Force Awakens for me.
Okay, you know what? I can get behind that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, I'm not saying it was like it's not bad.
A lot of hype
It's probably the best one of the sequels.
because it just played
But
the
I
hits.
think, yeah, but I think I don't know, like, I just think, like, there was way too much hype, and at some point, like, when it came out, like, it was clear that Disney was getting, because, like, Disney owns it now, right? Like, they were getting into this space of, well, let's just remake everything, or, like, introduce new things. So, to me, like, even before the sequels came out, I was like, I don't even know if there's a need for these, but okay.
It
I'll
was
be honest.
overhyped because it was the first Star Wars movie in a decade.
That the Force Awakens was a fantastic movie to start that new trilogy. It created a fantastic kind of like jumping off point to where the series can go. But what no one saw was that into the jumping off point was just a pile of sticks and fucking death. And it killed the whole series. So now we just don't talk about them. And now we're going to make TV shows that are slowly going to retcon everything until that whole trilogy never happened.
Fix everything.
All right.
My overrated is Empire Strikes Back.
What?
It is mostly considered by a lot of people the best. To me, it is not even. It's probably the third best of the original trilogy. I like Empire the least.
Elaborate.
Okay, So we
Okay,
go from
sorry, you're
Hoth.
so wrong on this. It's not even funny.
No, it's
Like,
it's terrible.
Sean. No. Okay, whatever.
Nothing
whatever. Okay,
happens.
go. If we, what do you?
Okay, so Hoth falls. The Millennium Falcon ends up in Cloud
Spoiler
City.
alert.
Yeah, right. And then
Hey, if you
fucking
haven't seen these
Luke
movies-
decides to go AWOL from the fucking rebellion, finds some little fucking green dude in the woods, licks him, trips
First-
out, like, and then sees his friends are in trouble and goes there and then loses a hand. Nothing, like, okay. The Hoth whole part takes too long.
Oh my gosh, dude.
It is not
No.
that good of a
You're
movie.
totally.
People
Okay,
love
you're
it because of the
glossing
twist.
over- Yes. The twist that made the original trilogy.
Yeah,
You're
except
glossing
it
over
could have been
everything
also
that
seen
happens
like
in that
forever, like, but because Vader, it means father in German, so everyone kind of saw that twist coming anyway.
Well, considering none of us were around for the fucking late 70s, early 80s when these movies were actually released, I'd say a lot of people didn't know that.
True. Anyway, and even like the whole thing of people misremember the fucking quote of it. It's not Luke, I
Yeah,
am your
no, they
father.
know.
Like that's
That
what I mean.
always
It,
sticks
it's
out.
so overhyped.
I'm your father.
It's no, I'm your father. Like there's so much, I think, hype behind that movie, but I don't think it really deserves it. I don't think it's that good of a movie. I New Hope is better. You have,
No.
typical hero's journey. Your second one doesn't really do a whole lot. You lose a hand, okay? You kind of come off unscathed, okay?
Okay, but first off, Empire Strikes Back is where Yoda is introduced to the universe, and Yoda is by far one of the best characters in Star Wars.
Agreed. However, the first bit of Yoda being a fucking like, I'm just gonna go, I want to punch that. I want to punch that Yoda in the face.
He is wise beyond his years, okay?
Yeah, we see that in like other movies, but the whole again
Okay, well,
subverting
we'll talk about that.
expectations has been a thing for a long time in the Star Wars universe. So, anyway, Empire overrated.
I so disagree with this opinion. It's not even funny, but okay, Steven, it's your turn.
I'm just gonna go with Force Awakens. That thing's overhyped as shit. Move on.
Fine.
My brain is
Thank
broken
you.
after hearing this.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
I know, this is just, I can't with this.
What is your, what is it? Underrated movie then?
Underrated?
Can't wait to hear this.
Shut up.
Oh no, I'm talking about Sean
Um,
after that one. I
You
did
mean
not know.
Sean? Okay.
Seriously reevaluating our friendship here.
It's no, because the other two in the original trilogy are better.
No, I
Yeah, but that
disagree.
wasn't the
Okay.
question.
I don't think
underrated?
Empire is terrible. I don't think it's the best Star Wars movie, and that's basically it.
Well, okay, first off, before we even started this debate, you had a lot of wrong opinions about Star Wars to begin with, so I guess maybe I'm not surprised about this wrong opinion as well, but this is
No,
just
but
shocking.
Just gonna
It's
give you
related
the
to-
bird.
This is related to the thoughts on the prequels. That's where I agree with Sean.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
boy. Ugh.
Friendship.
No.
renewed.
Okay, underrated. Honestly, underrated, I would say maybe Return of the Jedi. I think it's really it's well done, but for the most people, most fans of Star Wars, because Empire is so loved, I think Return of the Jedi doesn't get as much love as it should, because it is a really good movie.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Return of the Jedi is good.
I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop here.
No, I agree. I think Return of the Jedi is a good movie.
I just think I think it's overshadowed by Empire, but
I'm staring
in a way, I think rightly so, because Empire is so good.
I'll be honest. One thing about the original trilogy, the opening bit basically goes too long in progressively each movie. Whoops, hit the mic.
of highlighting or recapping what happened.
Well, like look how A New Hope starts off with just literally gunfire, jumping into it. You know what's happened, and then you go down Tatooine. There's always stuff kind of progressing. Empire starts off with Hoth. Hoth is a little too long. From the fucking Tauntaun thing, and Tauntauns are also one of the worst use of practical effects ever. Tauntauns are stupid.
Oh, okay. Stop right there. Stop.
Yeah, I did
I
that.
cannot.
Yeah, I went there. That's
What
for your
is wrong
Jar Jar.
with-
That's for
are
your
you
Jar Jar
serious?
Binks comment.
Are you serious?
No, not at all. Just
I'm
trying
out.
to
Why?
bug you. Hoth goes on too long, and then at the start of Last Jedi, the whole Jabba's palace thing goes on too long. And they get
Yeah,
the whole
like,
Rancor and then everything. It's a little long.
I can agree with you there. Honestly, though, I think the first Star Wars movie is, I think, the weakest in the original trilogy, in my opinion. Like, I just Empire is my favorite of the three, and I really enjoyed Return of the Jedi. Okay,
Return of the Jedi is my favorite. I think it does so much the lore
underrated for
building.
y'all.
For me, I think me and Steven agree on the underrated. It's Rogue One.
Yeah.
Which was good.
Rogue One's very well done. Like modern technology in that original trilogy kind of aesthetic. And, the good guys die. Don't see that often in movies.
Yep.
That's always a good trope. I always love that, where the hero doesn't make it. No one does. It actually has a really terrible ending.
It does have a really terrible ending, but I agree. Like it was a good movie of like the kind of side spin-off movies
stories?
that they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the side ones. Because we all know Solo was trash.
Yeah. Solo was not that good. I wouldn't put that as my top 10. It would make the top 10 just because of
that movie was also like way too hyped because of the cast, and then it turned out to be like eh.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The only reason it's not overrated is because everyone says it's one of the worst ones.
I was overrated to begin with, and I think everyone was kind of like, and it's kind of stayed there.
I know.
Yeah.
There was hope that they could do it well. The bounty hunting part / I guess smuggling part of the series can be hit and miss. And I think with the latest 2 series of Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett, you really see that.
Oh, one last thing about the Rogue One. Was it Alan Tudyk as the was it KSO? Fantastic.
Yes, he was very good.
Makes that movie so much better.
You are being rescued. Please do not resist.
Yeah, just the sarcastic deadpanness of it all. Oh, fantastic. So,
favorites?
Favorites. Well, Taylor just said hers. Empire.
Yeah, I love Empire. I'm also a huge Yoda fan. Like I love Yoda.
Looks at giant baby Yoda behind you, obviously.
Okay, first off, Grogu is in The Mandalorian, and I do love him, but I think the OG Yoda is probably still my favorite in the whole Star Wars universe. I have a talking Yoda. Even though I love Chewbacca, but I think Empire was it had the best storyline. I loved that movie so much. And Sean, you're just so wrong about it. It hurts my soul. Okay.
I'm sure people agree. There are enough people out there that would agree that it is an overrated Star Wars movie. It's not the best.
Okay.
Steven, what's your favorite? What do you want are we agreeing? Are we agreeing on this one too?
It's ROTJ.
Oh.
No, it's a good one. Return of the Jedi. Very good.
Not my favorite.
I thought you just said, didn't you literally just say that was your favorite?
Favorite of the original trilogy.
Of the original. No, again, he has a wrong opinion here because it's going to be one of the prequels, and it's just.
Revenge of the Sith is fantastic.
It is. I just personally that was my favorite movie growing up, so I have a special attachment to Return of the Jedi. I also love Revenge of the Sith, mostly because it's Duel of the Fates.
Yeah, and slaughtering of kids,
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
What's better, teddy bears killing Imperial troops, or Anakin killing a room full of children?
Yes.
The memes that have come out of the prequels, and specifically Revenge of the Sith,
Yeah.
and that one's kind of also like the very first Star Wars, where bam, you're right into it. There's no long kind of build up. There's nothing. It starts off with Battle of Coruscant, and it is a run all the way through. What's the slowest part of Revenge of the Sith?
The kids being born. I don't know.
I was even gonna say, like, you're on the council, but you're not master. What? That's basically it. That's the slowest part of the movie.
Yep, and there's lots of action because you actually get to see Palpatine fight.
Yeah, Palpatine fights Yoda and explains why Yoda is basically where he is and not.
I see. This is another reason why I don't like the prequels, because the CGI they did for Yoda sucks. The puppet Yoda was the best Yoda, and the CGI Yoda is ugly.
Okay, but to do
Just like
what
the
they
CGI Jar Jar Binks, which is a waste of money. Waste of money.
Waste of
Jar Jar Binks
pixels.
is a stupid character.
Jar Jar Binks is amazing.
No, I agree with you.
No,
Jar Jar Binks is
he's
terrible.
not.
I really do agree that he.
Well, he's a very
the
important
worst.
character.
Steven, do not.
Jar Jar's a very
It's
important
not a hill to die on. Not a hill to die
in
on.
the anime. Very important in
Do
the anime
not.
series. Just saying. He literally saves a planet.
Okay, whatever.
Blind squirrel finds a nut.
Sure.
Yes.
Maybe the animation is better, but the CGI Jar Jar Binks is
We're
dumb.
talking movies here,
Um,
not the Clone Wars series.
Yes.
Exactly.
I too.
Okay, like, honestly, like, I can understand Revenge of the Sith because Darth Maul and the battle was cool.
Time out. Darth Maul? What the fuck in Revenge of the Sith?
Hold on.
No, he was
I'm
cutting
getting it
halfway
wrong.
beforehand.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm getting mixed up, but it's fine. I haven't seen the prequels in a long time because I mostly avoid them because I watched them once and hated them all.
Order 66 is also fantastic. Like, there was so much good shit in that in Revenge of the Sith.
And also, in
Okay,
terms
least
of the
favorites?
in terms of the puppeting, I don't think you could do a lot of the shit that Yoda does in episode 2 or 3 with a puppet. You might be able to nowadays, but early 2000s when they were transitioning from puppets to CGI, I think it would be tougher to pull off all the flipping and shit.
Yeah.
I know. It's the way that they did Yoda though. Like, and I understand that CGI at that time it was becoming more popular, and it wasn't necessarily the same level of CGI that we have now, right? Because again, it was like the late 90s. But I just I don't know, like it just saddens me that they kind of in a way ruined Yoda for me. I just didn't like him.
That's fair.
It's just one of the biggest things that I have against the prequels. Like, there's a lot I have against the prequels. But,
Clearly.
like, that's a main
Yeah.
point.
And a lot of it is wrong.
Like, no, it's not wrong. They were bad.
They were
Not good movies.
They were fun.
Better soundtrack than the original trilogy.
False. Okay, so least favorites? Feel like we all have to have the
We all
same
said
one
it.
because it's the
We all already
only
said it.
answer.
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Solo.
No, Attack of the Clones.
Really? Worse?
Attack of the
Shit.
Clones is terrible.
Yes, Attack
Yeah,
of the Clones is
I
terrible.
still-
Okay,
It's
let's
a terrible
okay.
movie.
I'll be
I'm not
honest.
ranking it that much higher.
would-
but
I would-
still
I would
didn't
put-
like Solo.
Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. I would put those below, but like, because those are
Below Solo.
no below everything. 'Cause those are terrible.
Oh, okay. That's
but
fair.
for ones that are actually good movies, you know, in terms of every other Star
No.
Wars movie, Attack of the Clones is some of the most cringeworthy dialogue.
It is.
I would rank that lower than the last two, like than the Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. I would rank Attack of the Clones lower. It was terrible. Like
You
at least the
could make an
dialogue
argument,
and
yeah.
the like it was just so poorly done and poorly written. You can barely get through the movie without just like wanting to turn it off. And that's
Sad, it's
supposed to
rough,
be your
of
middle
course It gets
movie?
everywhere. Yeah. It's
But
a
the
bad
thing is-
movie, and I feel
It
bad
is, but-
because there's a lot of potential there. But again, like George Lucas just can't write dialogue. That's basically it.
But the thing is when you compare the original trilogy to the prequels, right? Like the middle movie in the original was Empire, and it was
Yep.
fantastic. Then you get to the and honestly, I think the middle movie kind of makes it. If the middle movie sucks, then I feel like it's just it falls apart. The trilogy falls apart. You need to have a solid middle, in my opinion. It's the same thing that happened in the sequels, in the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, the second movie.
Force
killed it,
Awakens was good, but the second movie killed it.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
And
that's
then
fair.
Rise of Skywalker was worse.
And that's what I would argue with, like, at least Revenge of the Sith saved the
Saved
prequel
it, yeah.
the prequel trilogy. It did.
It did.
If it was Rise of Skywalker bad, that prequel trilogy would the new sequel
Hold
trilogy
on, I
would
feel
never
like-
happen.
Oh, you know what? I was getting them mixed up. Revenge of the Sith is the last one in the prequels. I was totally getting them mixed up before. That's why I was talking about Darth Maul. That one's Phantom Menace. I totally forgot that movie existed for a second.
God damn it! And you call yourself a Star Wars fan?
Yeah, but okay, I still
wrong opinions will be thrown out.
maintain.
Where do you revoke your fandom?
I don't
where's your
revoke
fandom
my
card?
fandom because my opinions are better than yours.
Here's my opinion back to you. Double middle finger. So, deal with that.
Wait, Steven, what did you say your least favorite was?
Oh, Solo, because I've been trashing on it the entire time we've been talking about this.
Fair.
But, like,
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, like, I think either, like, there's just misses in this entire.
You know, it's really interesting for a series like Star Wars. It seems like either there's a 50-50 chance of the movie being good or movie being bad.
Yeah.
Like there really isn't anything that's like, oh yeah, it's a guaranteed hit, kind of like Marvel is.
Mm-hmm.
Always Star Wars fans are, I'd say not persnickety, but you know, they're critical.
Well,
They
there's
know what they want.
a lot of source material to read off of, and that fans will like. Not saying that Marvel there isn't, but Marvel, I think, dealing with different timelines and stuff from the comic books, and then the adaptions of picking one timeline. It's like, okay, we can
Mhm.
get peace because we followed one timeline and it was good.
Yeah.
Whereas Star
Yeah.
Wars, there's so much that we even argue about. This is canon. No, that's not canon. This is canon. So
Okay, if you could see one Star Wars movie made, what is it?
One Star Wars movie made?
In terms of like Steven's saying, all the extra
Oh,
canon
right.
shit.
something that hasn't been made yet, but you'd want to see made in the
Yeah.
future.
For me, it's the Darth Revan, Knights of the
Yes.
Republic. That
Old Republic is
Yeah.
is definitely the next route they should
Mhm.
go.
they should.
I think they're
It's easy.
they're slowly working to that. 'Cause, like I want to pull up all their.
Well, no, because they had the guys who were doing Game of Thrones, I thought, working on some Old Republic thing, and then that got shelved because Game of Thrones was terrible.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with you both. I think that would be really cool to see. I want that to be the next thing.
I agree. Okay, so are
But
we
I do
pretty-
have a final question for this debate.
Go ahead.
So,
Yes.
do we love Ewoks or do we hate Ewoks? And there's only one right answer.
Love Ewoks?
Good.
Okay.
Ewoks are the
Who
best.
hates Ewoks?
There are people who don't like Ewoks, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? Ewoks are the best.
That's fair.
They dance around and then cannibalize their
I know.
enemies.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like how that's kind of glossed over as like they ate the stormtroopers.
Well, you know what? You win some, you lose some.
Yum yum.
I also love how like armored vehicle that's a walker broken by two trees. Apparently the thing was made of fucking paper mache the whole time. Who knew?
Yep.
Can survive blaster fire and heavy cannons. Two
Uh.
trees and gravity.
Yeah. Could you imagine
Well,
once
this is-
if they pull that thing apart, the inside of that looked like?
Oh,
Oh.
Hmm.
You ever see a watermelon drop from a high height? Something like that.
I was gonna say they've got a whole bunch of they got the full different ways of cooking a stormtrooper, and then finally a good soup. It's already in a bowl too. You just got to heat the metal up.
Oh God.
Gosh.
Okay. And on that note, I think we are done. And we'll be
Might
back
be.
next week to talk about probably some more car launches. Finish talking about the Clash. And Steven can have some soup next.
Thanks for listening to Spare Parts. Remember to follow the show on Twitter at sparepartspod and the hosts at Stephen Clary, at Sean Cavarella, and at Tate Moore.